C2K and friends is place that you would want to be. You invited to join the family. This is show C2K and friends. Welcome to the show. Come in and enjoy show. Come hang with C2K and friends. C2K and friends is place that you would want to be. You invited to join the family. This is show C2K and friends. Welcome to the show. Come in and
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of C2K and Friends. And now I am about to bring my friends. What's going on, my brother?
And much
Welcome.
taking care of some business here. Get prepared for the another big fight deal. In case you missed out, New Dawn Rising has just several hours ago, more than hours ago at least. For those who are really they gave a little that air those goosebumps are just and
Yes.
you know what? New Dawn Rising spent 10 times better than what you think. If you haven't
Wow.
seen the show yet, in case you missed it, you can rewind, relive of what you missed.
And where we could see this video for everyone that is watching. What is their YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel is WCE, also known as Championship Entertainment. For those, it lasted over nearly counting 4 seasons. Ever since the premiere has completely made its course. Premiere of this past season's WCE. So, know what Dude on Rise is all about? Check out the channel, like, subscribe, and comment. I guarantee you, it's not only worth the wait.
So you guys heard it. Go to WCE. You guys gonna love wrestling. WCE Championship Entertainment, Wrestling Championship Entertainment. Do WCE. That is the YouTube channel. The New Horizon. If I'm correct, I hope I'm not saying it wrong.
I mean, correct. Rising.
All right. So you guys gonna watch. You guys gotta watch it. You guys gotta watch it. Gotta subscribe, like, and share. Always, it's very important. Not only to like, not only to subscribe, but share.
Pretty cool. Many new surprises, many new arrivals, maybe some. Who knows? What you expect this season that we see Wrestling Championship Entertainment. And believe me, when they just getting started and reuniting back, they're not kidding. So, like I said before, check out their YouTube channel. Click on the keyword WCE / and share a little WCE Championship Entertainment love.
Also, I want you guys to subscribe to RCEW, Rising County Entertainment Wrestling. Subscribe to their channel. Subscribe to the channel. Not only like and share, subscribe to the channel. Also, go to the real HIPW Wrestling. The real dot H no the dot real dot HIPW dot wrestling. You guys need to see that. Subscribe and like. I know we had a very interesting conversation with Kevin Rage, and I'm waiting for Kevin Rage to come over here, and I'm waiting for all my friends to come over here. This is why the episode, the title of this episode is called Real Talk. We was talking about a lot of things that this wrestlers need to hear, right? And I wish it, I hope he does come, to the show. Uh, but can you tell Tim? I mean Adonis, can you tell the the viewers what we was talking about?
Well, as far as about the topic, we want to make sure being of and spread a positive word. And that is how to come out circumstances as being, let's just say, it was a mental disappointment, emotional disappointment, so on and so forth. I'd like to break down in a few, sentences due to the fact that yes, some of us have gone through some
Exactly.
share of hardships,
Yes.
downs, failures, failure to communicate, failure to comply with everything, failure
Yes.
to follow rules, regulations, boundaries, you name it. As
Definitely.
many some of them know, especially ourselves, that has been happening lately. However, at the end of the day, we're doing what it takes to maintain it as best as possible. So what we do is sometimes they put the someone on two, better yet, on two options: find a solution to a problem,
Hmm.
or quote unquote trim the fat of that problem, which means you get rid of that problem before it becomes an impossible. Where some people choose old bad habits.
Exactly.
So what I'm trying to say is that to make the positive negative, that's the two choices that certain like myself I will agree upon.
Yes,
C2K can
sir.
agree upon that we have to make. We do one of two things because there's times like this you cannot have both, which
Hmm.
is cure the problem or
Exactly.
eliminate the problem all at once. And then sometimes there's reasons. Sometimes there's reasons, but
Yep.
however, those reasons are told and not to be spoken of. Somewhat sensitive subjects that need to be discussed sometimes,
Exactly.
but others we try to refrain from become a thing and not be a common cause of any publicity.
That's right.
And we try to do it, and we do try to only simple fact. Only because there are way too many sensitive subjects.
Exactly.
So we do everything we can to rightfully defend it,
Yes.
right reasons, causes, but also we got to do whatever it is necessary to ensure the right choice has been made without
Exactly.
instant.
That's right.
So even though UK does agree that yes, it's fair, even if it's days, months, or even years,
Yeah.
skulls, Drake Wolf, but else, anybody can attest to that. I can't.
Exactly.
You gotta realize not everybody speak for everybody. Only
Yes.
they speak for themselves.
True. Especially when it comes to when when you are creating a backyard wrestling. Either you haven't created yet, but you still thinking about it, and you already had your friends, and you having that conversation. And the thing is that it is very difficult to to create one. It's not something that is, oh yeah, it's very easy to do it. No, it's not. It's not very easy. Like I have my problems with WNCW, where we're still trying to find somewhere where to wrestle, especially when it comes to Dunker, New York. If it was Rochester, New York, it would be very, very easy just to get a place to wrestle. But this is not Rochester. This is Dunkirk. It's a very, very small town with the backyards are not that big as in Rochester, New York. Rochester, got big houses, big backyards, and etc. And it's very hard to get the praise and stuff like that. And at the same time, it's like I understand that a lot of people want to have a ring, to wrestle, and you know I mean, if you had the money, God bless you. If you had the money to come with a ring, God bless you. And if you got the money to buy the parts to build a ring, God bless you. you know it just not everybody got that luck, or the money to go ahead and start with a ring. And it's like, I know that's a lot of problem for a lot of people, a lot of this back wrestling companies, and it's like sometimes you need to go back to the basic. Sometimes you need to go back to how the old back wrestling it was, where people used to wrestle in mattresses. People used to wrestle on the concrete or the ground. You know what I mean? Or they used to just go ahead and put just one mattress and that's it, or whatever. And it was not about that. Because it's all about having the fun with it. You're talking to a guy that had wrestled in mattresses, have wrestled on trampoline, have wrestled on the concrete, have wrestled on the ground. I have wrestled everywhere, and I still give my all when it comes to that. And the thing is that sometimes you need to go back to the basic. Oh, I got somebody over here. Hold on. Okay, gonna have him. Oh Lord, this guy.
This guy now. This guy.
Oh
Interesting.
God, this guy. What's going on, my brother?
Not much, not much. I'm ready to whoop all of it.
Drake. Can you find
Uh
someone else on the way? He's like a certain type of all people.
oh.
Dare How dare you, co-CO? How dare you, owner of RCW? How dare you? Boss?
Relax, Drake Love. After all, I am
Champ.
giving you up.
I
You
am
gotta
the
realize
face.
I am giving you a hard time. So settle down. It's not a victory realm, but I'm in a
I am the champion of hardcore champion. I am of the tag team champion. Soon to be the next Federal Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion this year.
or if you don't bring up that little mockery, little ass attitude, I can force you to forfeit that championship. More likely, that championship opportunity, and force you to make you challenge yourself for a hardcore championship yourself a little early. Now you
Oh, I
want
got
that to
somebody
happen?
else. Got somebody else here. Hold on.
Then I got to deal with that little bitch, Savage One.
Speaking of which,
Oh
Mr. Austin
God,
Tyler,
it's the freaking
or Tyler
international
Art
champion
for short.
of CW. How cute. Hey,
Even
but boy,
though
guess what?
I don't have spoilers, and which I won't. However, seems like
Hey,
he's
my
making a
boy.
return a certain company, but I'm not gonna spoil that right now. So more on that
Boy,
later.
guess you got to defend that title this year against two people. Good luck.
But more on that fundamental stuff. So what I'm trying to do is spread a little message to people to make positives out of negatives out of these hard
Thank
times.
you, guys.
That
Thank you
is,
for not spoiling it for no
hold
one.
on, hold
We're
on,
about to
hey,
go. Pick up
hey,
the weed.
hey, while you're at Mr. Ark, put a shirt on while you're at it, while you wear the title, because you're not that buff. Where we know that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
put it. Yeah, yeah. That's one of the rules. You gotta put a shirt on. It's put on the rules of C2K
I'm
in Top Show in France.
ready to face this year to end him once and for all.
but I want to point out it is C2K in France. We're gonna have at
Hold
somewhat
on,
of a good time.
C2K. Where is the Savage Puss? I'm surprised he's been hiding a lot from me.
I haven't seen it for wow a long time since the last
And
time
since you
came my
asked,
show.
And since you asked Mr. Drake Wolf, he's trying to escape for a long time, preparing to face you. Anyways,
Where is he? I want to hear him one time. What does he have to say to
All
me
right,
for the
here we go.
final face off? Final face off before
Thank you,
June.
Tyler.
C2K. Ask him nicely, bring him here.
the thing that I'm sorry, but the thing that he's not here this evening. Most likely, he will not be back anytime soon, except for facing you on June 15th. That final
Now
face
let's
off
see where we'll lose.
from the
So now,
last episode, that was the final face off with you. Anyways,
so this is what we're talking about. Like we try like spread a message to the rest of the wrestlers and stuff like that. We're talking about that. Sometimes if you don't have the money to get a ring, you can always go to back to the basic. You could always go to trampoline, like you guys wrestle on basically on the ground. But it's not about that because sometimes you don't have the money to buy yourself a ring. you know I mean, like I always said, if you got the money to buy your real ring, God bless you. If you have the money to buy the parts to build a ring, it's still a lot of money. It still costs a lot of money to come with the boards, to come with whatever you need to come with, to build a ring. So
and that's very simple. Sometimes that's very very simple to comply with. Only because you got to realize, you got to think about it this way. There's going to come times when your shoes are falling in. This is coming from me. It takes a miracle. I repeat, a good miracle
mm,
for that to happen somehow. If you get, let's just say, let's say either Mr. Ark or finds $100 bill on the ground. And what happens? They turn that to a profit, and they put that
exactly.
into work to put in the material, right?
And exactly. And you know what? I want to hear this about first. I want to hear from Drake. Because and then Tyler, so they could tell share the story. Basically, like they wrestle on the ground and stuff like that. So can you
Okay. Yeah, we wrestle on the ground. Dangerous, but we know what we're doing. A little hurt, but
But however, as you can see, episode after episode, video after video, from RCW's standards, or even FPWE, every episode, you see us wrestling the ground. We get it. We get it. Sometimes the idea of wrestling the ground, sometimes it get old, it gets stale. We get
exactly?
it. But the thing is, we give the
I heard
people
from
what they want, no matter what. We make the people happy. Make sure they go home happy. Giving them
correct,
a spot
but we heard from
to make them
management
happy.
that a new idea this year for the shows. It might be mattress shows. Honestly, doing the mattresses definitely.
That's
I
correct.
do miss the ring. I do miss definitely miss
Okay,
WCW.
Tyler, so what do you think about that? I want to share your story about that. I know that is, if I'm correct, you guys doing in your backyard. If I'm correct, that you guys, wrestle on the ground. Can you tell us about that?
Hey, bottom and work our way to the top. If we have to get mattresses, hey, get mattresses. If we gotta get more fat to extend it more, have to do that. Or just
Mm,
build a ring in the backyard.
Because we as a whole, some of us or at least all of us, never far away, all of us is pitching in to get the abilities to get the materials that exactly we needed, and then some. It takes a little while in comparison to what funds we have left to put it all together. But best believe me when we say this, we're gonna give the fans what they can ask for. Because sometimes there could be a difference maker, a change
Now,
in the
now he
concept.
here's one thing. Here's some one thing that I learned. Like I said, I have been. I mean, you guys saw my mattress. I have wrestled in mattresses very, in for, in a very long time, a long while ago. And one thing that I learned when it comes to mattresses, if you buy a mattress, make sure that leave it in the plastic. Do not take it out of plastic. And because the thing is that once they get dirty pretty easily, they really get dirty pretty easily. That's number one. Number two, when you live in the plastic, then I don't say leave it outside because it does rain. It does rain, and if you take it those mattress out of the plastic and you leave it outside, it's gonna get rain, it's gonna get very wet, and trust and believe it's gonna get stinky. And I do have a bad experience wrestling on stinky, stinky, mildew freaking, mattresses, and that's what you don't want to do. I say
You got to avoid any form of bug, avoid any form foul stench that comes from maybe other animals like seagulls, other birds, things of that nature. You got to be extra careful with that.
And that's another thing. And you cannot don't leave it outside. Don't leave it outside. I don't care if in the plastic because outside there's insects. You got outside. I want to say this. There are insects outside. Got bugs. You got bed bugs. You got roaches and stuff like that. You don't know what the neighbors. How how the condition, how they live. You don't know that. So if you leave it outside, and next thing you know, that's what I said. Do never use a used mattress. Never, because trust and believe I've been through it. The first mattress that we got from the street. We got it from the street. Was we were kids. We were like, damn. I think I was like 18. I was 18 years old when the first time we started doing with the mattresses. I was 18 years old. We were kids. We were teenagers. So it's how we saw that's what our best bet because we started on the ground back in 2001. We was wrestling in the streets. We was wrestling in the grounds and stuff. Then we kind of got a little trouble with the cops and stuff. So he said, "Crap," So we did it on the backyard. I remember we had just one mattress with three tires. We used that as to jump from. And the thing is, that mattress was fine, but it got dirty, it got wet. We had to throw it out. So we was like we was desperate because we want to wrestle. We want to wrestle. So we saw like where we used to wrestle, probably couple blocks we used to wrestle in Rochester, New York. We saw King mattresses with four of them. I said, "Oh shit!" We grabbed them without thinking. We grabbed them. Next thing you know, all of us have this big bites. I said, "What the heck is this?" I had on my face, I had all over my face, I have on my neck, all of them too. And when we look at it, there's gotta be something because when we was wrestling, we were getting bit. It's out, like so. Next thing you
Right.
know, we thought it was bed bugs. It was bed bugs. We had to throw them out. And the crap. So then in the second time, we didn't learn. We did not learn. So we got a couple streets later, a couple streets, we saw all the mattresses, we checked it. Oh no, this might be fine. This check it. No, when we found out that it had a pee stains behind both of the sides, and I said, "Oh crap!" So we learned that do never, ever, 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 don't ever uh get mattresses from outside. Buy you a mattress or yeah, buy your mattress, and when you have a mattress, leave it in the plastic. Those mattress comes in the plastic, on the plastic. Leave it in the plastic.
Suggest also buy. He wants to buy freshly baked.
Yes.
Also, check your resources elsewhere. It could be marketplace. It could be on a It could be from a rumor from the estate sale. Look at your surroundings. Make sure they're fresh, they're cleaned, and well used and well accounted for.
Yes.
That's all.
And one more thing, when it comes with the mattresses, when you buy, once yes, leave it in the plastic, take it inside of the house. I don't care if proceed kit in the plastic. Okay, that could be something, but there are bugs or rodents or raccoons or whatever that got teeth. It will definitely will break the plastic.
And
They
what
will
we
do that.
if it is left outside, I strongly suggest possibly do. If you got tarps,
Yes, I was about to say that. Yeah, get a tarp. So once you get that tarp, make sure it's bigger than the ring. Always get a tarp that is bigger than the ring. Why? Because no matter what, it doesn't matter if you have a tarp and you leave it outside. Let's say you just cover only the top of the top of the bed, the water still gonna find its way to come under those beds. Even though you have it on the plastic, it's still, let's say for example, if you buy those for example, if you buy the beds and they got the plastic, but you don't know how the movers are going to handle that, those beds. You don't know if they're going to hit it with something, and they might have little holes or whatever. It's still, the water still going to get. But remember, the mattress is like a sponge. Will definitely will take that water, with that water no matter what. That's what I say. You know,
and also I want to speak about a certain thing that back in the day when remember the store that's Renaissance, right?
yes, yes,
I remember back in the days that people wrestled in the early stages into the 2000s a little bit. I remember people they want to purchase in order for them to they pretend they want to steal it. But
yes,
however they use that idea to pay off
exactly,
the borrowing rent
exactly.
uh, close to maybe like 30, 40 bucks a week.
Yes,
But the setback that was happening when they were using the mattresses, they were pretending to sleep when they were using it, despite the fact of plastic being up there,
exactly.
and they use it over time where it's becoming palatable. Where
Yes.
even though some people would think that paying $35 a week was
Hmm.
underwhelming, but however, people were paying the price for the damages here and there, and where
Exactly.
Rent Center was getting a little bit fussy about the complaints that they
Yes.
received about that. So I remember, I mean, like I said, I've done that over several times, like namely half a period of time
Uh,
where Rent
okay.
Center was getting pissed, getting angry about that, and yeah, that was like enough is enough. It was like
Exactly.
they
I think.
they can.
I think. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Wait, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
The thing is, when Rent Center was still policy never to have people buy mattresses that are actually making sticky out of it by
Yes.
they don't take care of it properly and and use it for some other illegal, I should say, unnecessary rise ordeals like wrestling. They will charge them double or just because of that. So yeah,
I
Here's
want.
a
I want to.
question.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right, here's a question. How is your management? How's the LLC going?
I'm sorry.
How is that LLC for the company? I know you've been talking. I hope. I know I'm Russ. Sure, we're
It's still in
fake,
the words
and
now. It's still in the words as we speak. So we can only focus on one thing.
I've been talking to Damien, and he said is until we should have him by.
That may be the case, Mr. Brookman, but still, it's like it's supposed to.
I've been talking to
Exactly.
about it because I was making sure that every.
Now, there's another thing that I want to talk about. Now we're gonna go to building a ring. We already talked about if you want to get a mattresses, what can happen and then what cannot happen, and then how can you win and this and that, and what you need to do when you get a mattress. Now we're gonna talk about building a ring. I know. I'm gonna use Tennessee Backyard Wrestling where they build a ring. And I was talking to them, and and we did it too. I did it. I did it before. I did it before when it 2004, 2005, if I remember. In Rochester, New York, we built a ring, and everything was going fine. We got the boards and everything, and we got the ropes and stuff like that. But then, we had to basically tore it down because somebody got injured because the person that was helping us did not put, I guess, did not put the one of the woods, one of the woods, the way it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna ask a question first, and I'm gonna go, it's gonna be, going around, in turns. Uh, Anything you guys say about that when it comes to the, building the ring with wood and stuff like that?
Make sure you have the proper tools, uh, the proper tools, proper, materials that you have in mind that will stick with it, and then some.
Exactly.
So once you have those, if it's working properly and stable enough for it to happen and whatnot, per se,
Yes.
you gotta make sure you check back on what needs to be done. So that
Exactly.
way, you have to backtrack a little bit of a tad. Is that make sure you gotta make sure you are handling it carefully
Exactly.
and I mean, make sure you backtrack a tad to see what went wrong and what could be fixable
Exactly.
before it, even if it would take you a day or so before it actually that day shape. Make sure you have witnesses with you to ensure that nothing's messed up, nothing's misguided or miscord, and mislit, led and stuff like that, etc., etc. Just be sure you check everything from the top down.
Yes.
It's that simple. To prevent injury, prevent lawsuits, make sure there's no breach of contract involved, anything else like that in that nature. Because
Exactly.
after all, everybody is in breach. Everybody is within his contract to ensure that code of conduct still remains in effect and intact while you are
Exactly.
employed with some of us, even when you're booked or not. Make
Yes,
sure
sir.
you go over the paperwork like it's listed as it's supposed to be. If it's
Yes.
misled, misread, like I said, don't be afraid to speak up. Talk to whoever is in management, and trust me, you get all the answers you need. Just the thing is, one favor for some of us is that if you know the answer to the question, don't, don't just constantly repeat after yourself. Just move right in your head somehow for a moment.
Oh, okay, my brother. Yeah, I think he got to go.
I gotta go. I gotta get ready. It's coming up very soon. I gotta get ready for the match.
All right, my brother. All
All right,
right.
all right.
Thank you for coming, brother.
Peace.
All right, bro. I know the
David
time.
Woodman, and that will be Drake Wolf. So
Right, Wolf.
hopefully you
Yes.
come back to C2K friend. But in the meantime, let's get back to the lecture at hand. What I'm
So,
saying is that, in general, in closing, make sure you not only have witnesses that are willing to help out voluntarily, but also
yes.
double check what went wrong, what can be corrected, what could be replaced. That
Yes.
that much money later on down the road to your pockets. Just make sure
Exactly.
you do everything, not do anything that's financially going to cost that on your end. Because sometimes you gotta be you gotta play safe and sorry role.
Exactly.
Also, if like you said, if you see something that's not or is off base or off topic, address it head on. Take
Exactly.
whatever. That's all it
I
takes, and that's all needs to be done. But go ahead.
I always learned that when you going to build a ring, plywood or wood or 4x4s, whatever, never use old or used nails. Always buy use new nails. When it comes to plywood, plywood's not that very thick. It's probably kind of like this thick, probably, if I'm correct. Uh, I always learned that once when you going to do your your ring with plywood, whatever, make sure that always start from the turnbuckle or the poles. Always start the poles. Why? Because when you start with the poles, you gotta make holes on the ground, probably like 7 feet. Yeah, 7 or 8 feet. So because you need to put that, the wood, make sure that it's in the ground. Don't I saw a lot of people tie them up or whatever. No, no, no. That's a bad idea. Always when you're going to do your build your ring with plywood, and you're using wood for the poles, for the turnbuckle and stuff like that, you really need to at least 7 or 8 feet on in the ground. And when you do that, buy yourself some cement. Don't start. I saw a lot of people putting other woods or whatever. Yeah, it might work a little bit. Yeah, okay. Putting some, they cut in the woods and they put it, to fill, the hole, and make sure that, yeah, that will work for a little bit, not for
So
long.
another thing, mine, if the ground is not that, let's just say,
Exactly.
rotted out, make sure it's not dry out. Make sure it's not,
Exactly.
let's just say, how can I put it? Not hard as concrete than any other stores.
Exactly.
Make sure, make
It's
sure, make sure is that you find a stopping area that can that you can drill through the ground. Make sure it's very accurate enough for it to like it will stick to the ground for it to settle in and then some. But however, sure it's accurate and the right alignment.
hmm and at the same time, make sure that the ground is spacious. That what do I mean spacious? That sometimes the ground might have um the trees, got the roots. That there's big roots coming from the trees, and sometimes you will see the roots coming from the ground and then going back in. When you see that, do not put your ring there. I don't care, because those roots goes all the way long, and when you dig your hole, you're gonna find yourself one of the roots, and it's not good to put your pole there. Why? Because one, you don't want to hurt the tree. That's one thing. Do not want to hurt the tree when it comes to to the roots. Because the roots, that's the life. That's the life of of the tree. That's how they get the water. That's how they get what they need to get to grow. So when you see that, no, just find a spot that where it's away. If you okay, for example, boy, it's okay. I got 4 trees in my backyard. Okay, okay, right, fine. Every backyard has trees. Every backyard has pour 1, 2, 3 trees or whatever. Fine. But let's say, for example, if you got a tree almost, and it always happen in the in the backyard, you probably have one tree that is almost in the middle of your backyard, kind of in the middle of the backyard, right? Then you got another one that's on the fence. You got this one on the fence. Okay, then this is when you measure. You you might not see the roots, but if you basically you measure from the tree all the way there for the ground, and you okay, this is what the root should be. So I'm gonna you mark it. You mark the grounds on that you think that's what the roots are. You mark it, and that's when you do that. That's when you really you
But
measure it.
it was also fine. Sometimes it could be more difficult than we are. So
Yeah,
just be careful, consider it. And
exactly. And at the same time, like I said, measure all the stuff and then right where you probably might put the ring. Sometimes it might not be in the middle of the backyard. Sometimes it might be a little bit, to the left, a little bit to the right. But make sure that it's away from all of that. Now here comes the other thing. Um, Make sure that there's always got to be some rocks under the ground, and when you dig and dig and dig, doesn't I mean I'm gonna say probably 2 feet, you will see a big rock. Okay, you cannot do it. Don't just put the ground back, and all that stuff, and then okay, let me and you just like I say, always check first where you could put your poles. And when you find the perfect place that there's no rocks, there's nothing there, I said, okay, I'm gonna start digging. You start digging your holes, make 4 holes. Measure, always measure this pole for another pole to see how long, how big you want your ring. Always measure it. It's
Also keeping in mind,
mm,
make sure the ground itself is deep enough to through what needs to go through. Or it doesn't tilt. Make sure it's in a way that is so controversial offline or at all costs.
exactly, and that's when, and that I was gonna go to that part too. Once that before you dig the hole, before you dig all the holes, you probably you could dig in because you could check, but at the same time, measure, make sure that the ground is even. You can, because sometimes for example, it happened in RWA, and I'm going to say this, it happened in RWA, and I was talking about this too with Ray Youth, and I was talking about this with I think it was Skulls. I was talking about how basically need to make sure that the ground is even in RWA. And I'm going to say it, in our RWA, when they did the first show, um, they put the real ring. They put the ring up, and the thing that they forgot to do, they didn't know what it was, and I was surprised because we had some people in there that I thought, okay, they know everything about wrestling. Uh, the thing is that you got this two like cords, well, I call them cords, but that is to put under the ring. So basically, it's like an X. You put that under the ring. Why? Because those that you need to put down the ring, because that's what it goes to each pole of the ring. That's to tie the pole, and the pole can be even. You don't do that, it doesn't matter how you put your ropes. How it doesn't matter how you tie your ropes. Your rope's still gonna be going like this when you're in the ring. It's not safe. And I waited into the next day because that day was raining. I think they was just trying to hurry up. They was trying to hurry up because it was raining. So the next day was fine. It was good the next day. So I call my brother, Uncle Chris, Chris Bandish. I call him up and I say, hey, I need your help. Because I know that he's the one that he's has experience to do that. He came that day, and I showed him, and he was like, he freaked out. He said, "What?" Like I said, "How can it? Did they know?" I said, "No, they did not know." I said, "Wow." So we had to take the whole ring out, and we put in whatever. We put it very nice, and it was fine. Then he left. Didn't come back in Missy because it was the next month. This, I think they start doing more shows and stuff. And when I was like training in it, I could see one of the poles was like uneven. It was like this, and I was like, hold on, but okay. So I call Uncle Chris. I say, yo, I show him the picture and everything. He said, okay, let's. We took that. We took it apart like twice and put it back. He said, "Hold on, why is it uneven?" And he said, "Let's check the ground." The ground was uneven. It was not the ring; it was the ground. The ground wasn't even uneven. So we had to like dig the holes, whatever, and it took us probably an hour, a whole hour to even to even the ground. So the ring can be even though there was nothing wrong with the ring. The ring was fine. It was just the ground. So when you going to build the ring, even though if you're going to do on a mattress, even though if you're going to do it, you're going to build your ring, even though you have a trampoline, even though if you buy yourself a real ring, always make sure to even that ground. You need to even the ground. Okay, and mark where you want the end of the ring. Okay, this gonna be this way. It's gonna start from here, gonna end from here, start from here, and that's when you mark it. Once you mark it, that's when if you need to do it with a shovel, if you need to get it, hit it up with a broom or whatever. Because that's the way we did it. We did it with shovels and stuff. It took us like an hour, but trust and believe, and always bring the metro. It's called the rule. That rule to measure the ground, whatever, to make sure once you see that that green liquid, and if you see it uneven, that's when you need to, okay, let me, this part's uneven, let me even this part, stuff like that. So always make sure to um even the ground, check the ground first. Now when the ground is even, okay, that you're fine, because you already know, okay, this is even. You already got a mark. Excuse me. Start from the poles. Hold on. I need to do something. Hold on. All right. Always start from the poles. You already got your poles. Now you start from the edges. You do the edges. If you need to use 4x4s and you do the edges, fine. Do that. You can start from the edges. Now, this is a lot of. I see a lot of people doing this. Even though let's say you got the edges and you already put your plywood, and sometimes I get it, you do the base. Sometimes what they do, they got the base and they put like the wood in the middle. They probably put one, probably four plywoods, whatever. Here's the
Mhm.
thing: when you make your plywood, always put boards in the middle of that plywood. Why? Because the plywood is thick. And trust and believe, you're gonna go through that.
Right.
It either
Before
go ahead.
you go, before you go any deeper, I'd like to give a few birthday shout outs in case you missed out this past week.
Okay.
Big birthday shout out to the legendary rock star known as Dio.
Yes.
Also, happy birthday to WWE Hall of Famer The Godfather. Also, happy birthday to Rob Gronkowski, who turns 35 this past week. Also,
Mm.
happy birthday to Ralph Transrat of New Edition. Also, happy 31st birthday to Omas. Happy 79th birthday, Steve Martin.
Happy birthday.
Also,
Mhm.
happy birthday to Ron Simmons, aka. Also, happy the following birthdays. Celebrity wise, it's Dennis Rodman's birthday this past week.
Ooh, Dennis Rodman.
Stacey Dash, Jenny Terrell, Stevie Wonder,
Oh
and
yeah.
and pop sensation superstar Janet Jackson.
Oh, happy birthday, Janet Jackson.
Also, another birthday shout out that took place this past week, especially a happy birthday, Bill Paxton,
Okay.
and also uh, Happy 29th birthday to Megan Fox.
Yes, sir.
And let me see here. Happy birthday, Pierce Brosnan. And happy 28th birthday, Mike Bennett, Cat Taylor. And happy birthday to, correctly, and birthday today, if we were still alive, the legendary Jack Gaspard.
Oh, yes. Happy heavenly birthday.
Those who missed it, yesterday was National Superman Day, and today is On Point Day. And also, last, if I'm reading this right, for birthday to India,
Oh, yes.
and former WCW superstar God's Wonder Kid Alex Wright.
Happy birthday, guys.
And happy heavenly birthday to those who are not here.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday for everybody. That it was this month. Happy birthday. For heavenly her birthday. Yes, sir.
Oh, and last but not certainly least, happy heavenly birthday to legendary actor Mr. Dennis Hopper.
Ooh, yes, sir. Happy birthday.
And finally, happy birthday to legendary funny guy from Full House and AFV,
Oh, my favorite
Mr.
show.
Bob Saget.
Happy birthday. That's my first show. I love that show. I love Full House. No, I think it was now. It's a still Full House because I know the last time I checked it was Fuller House.
Yeah, it's Fuller House.
Yeah, yeah. I know that. I mean, I had to go back and see it. I know that when they started, it was that was the first episode of Fuller House, and then they threw shots at Mary Kay and Ashley because they didn't came, and they probably didn't haven't came in the show. I mean, they're part of the show, but they never came. Everybody else came. Everybody else came,
Also,
and then,
last but not least, even though it is the month of May, we also congratulate those in prom month for those who are graduating and dancing the night away. We congratulate them, hopefully, especially in my city, the state Racine County. I know city and state is graduating with honors, along with those California people are celebrating their prom and making a night to remember. So congratulate those sophomores, freshmen, and those who are going to make a success story and a career and a lifetime experience like never before. So congratulate those from
and
their current high schools and receiving their diplomas after graduation and dance the night away. And be smart, be safe, don't drink, don't do drugs while at prom, not before, during,
exactly, exactly. Also, I want to say happy belated birthday. I know we did her birthday in C2K talk show. Body Batty, Shadow Crack Day. To Dark Angel, the old lady. Oh my God, she's hearing me. She gonna come here and get at me, old lady.
Also, finally, last but not least, happy 40th birthday to Mr. Derek Holm.
Oh yes, sir. So
So
yeah,
that'll do it for all the birthday shout outs and heavenly birthday shout outs. So let's
yes,
get back
sir.
to what we recently speak of. And
Oh,
and those who are stranded from the Midwest uh, thunderstorms, hopefully be careful, be safe. I understand people voluntarily are working hard day and night for the weekend, suffering from the horrific damages. I know you're gonna do the best you can to bring everything back to normal. Those and lucky, some of them are not. At least, at, hopefully, some people are not hurt, some are not injured. But we pray for the Midwest. Be smart, be safe. Hopefully, the recovery comes
yes.
through in no time.
Yes, sir. It's all about safety, and I was thinking about that too. Yeah, I was looking at I really was worried about you guys, the people that was, living right scene. I was praying for that too because I was watching the videos and stuff like that, how it was, the storms, and then a lot of people. I don't know if a lot of people, some people lost their lives in that storm, and I don't know, but I know that yeah, I don't know if people got seriously hurt, but I hope not. But I was really worried about
Just,
you guys
just,
and where.
just remember, for those who don't memorize that well or don't know that very well, however, always check up on them, make sure they're safe and sound, even
Exactly.
before, during, after a thunderstorm. Make sure
Exactly.
make sure their power's back in full swing. You know, they're on Wi-Fi, they're on power in general. Make sure you check in with them and no matter how long it takes.
Exactly. So now we're gonna go back to what we was talking about. So like I said, and I know that's yeah, I just said that a lot of people, some people, when they build a ring with plywood, they don't put okay, you got your edges, and they put some, they put like a like a wood in the middle of the ring, and they probably
Hmm.
put like one of four plywoods. But you could still, if you run like you want to run the ropes or whatever, you could go through. That happened to me. Trust and believe. It is not the it's nothing pretty. Trust and believe. I've been through those plywood couple times. So what you do is, in that space between those plywood, or those, the edges or whatever, you put more 4x4s. You put more wood. If it has to be 6 or 7. Why? Because that would basically, you will not go through. You will not go through. That's the base. That's the whole base. Do not only do because the edges. You need the base of the ring. So put as many as wood that you need to put. Now that's when you put your plywood. Now you always use new nails this little. Don't do the big ones. Do this little, the little ones. Do on the edges. Okay. Now, here's another thing that I want to say. When let's say that you had the middle. Let's say like I said, when you do the edges, you only got just one wood coming this way, and you have nothing. And when you put your woods, do not. I repeat, do not put the nails on top of the wood, on top of the plywood. Put it, if you see that, let's say for example, you got one coming this way, but then you got one coming this way, and you put four plywoods. You got four squares, even though it's one big square, but you got four squares. Now you're putting all your wood in the middle of the squares, and you see that the wood that's going this way, right? You put the nails on this side because the wood is coming this here, right? It's right. You got the end of the wood. You want to get your nails here. Why? Because you need to get your nails up, and you didn't put it the right way. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Right.
You're gonna hurt yourself. So what you
What
want to
you want
do?
is face the nails a little bit downwards. It won't
Exactly.
cause wear, it won't cause wear and tear in your outfit.
Exactly. It could rip your shoes up. It, well, but I got resident shoes. They still can rip them up. Still can rip them. So even if you're wearing shoes, they can still make a hole in your shoes, and you still can get hurt. Can get hurt. So and same as the edges. When you put the board on the edges, that's what you want to put your nails. You don't want to put the nails in the middle of the ring. Don't do that. Always put it in the edges of the boards. Always in the edges of the boards. And if you got board, like I said, boards under and you got wood coming this way, you know the end facing the other one, that's when you want to put inside. You want to put it here, measure it where it is, and you're going to put it here. And then you got the other side of the ring that has the edges. Then you do it on the side of the ring, measuring where the woods are. Why? You won't get hurt. That's one thing you don't want to do. And it happened to me many times. I was a teenager, so I'm learning. I was learning.
Yeah.
But now when it comes to the rope, you want to use rope. I want to show you. Let me see if I still have it. Hold on. Let me see. I know it gotta be here. Hold on. I always got. I always got like a suitcase in a book bag that everywhere that I go, if I know that, for example, if I know where I'm going, it has a private whatever. I always bring tape, duct tape, hammer. I always do that. But if it's a real ring, I don't have to worry that much. Let me see. I'm gonna open it right here. Show you guys. I always get always these duct tapes. They got black or gray. These duct tapes are good to cover the rope. You need to cover your rope. Why? Because when you get Irish whip, you get an Irish whip from one side of the rope to the other side of the rope. What's going to happen? You're always going to grab that rope. When you get to go and you're back, when you take the Irish whip and you bounce from the rope, what's going to happen? You're going to grab that rope, and when you get that rope, you start running. You're going to get straight from here. It's going to burn you. That rope is going to burn you. So always when you have the ropes on that let me see, I got more because I always got, or if you don't got ropes, this, excuse me, this right here, that is basically for if you break your arm, whatever. This works too. You see that this right here, this one here are sticky, right? Then you see you spray, they're very sticky. You want to have to buy a lot, but at least they will definitely will cover the rope, and you just make sure you cover the rope. You go on the
That's
three
based
ropes.
and based on that what C2K is showing right now. Just to let you know that are watching on C2K and friends, he is going to bring those materials with him by the time he arrives and racing with.
Exactly. So this one here, like I said, I always bring this with me. This right here, if you don't got the duct tape, you get this into you go ahead and get a duct tape. Always buy a duct tape. It could be gray, it could be black. It doesn't matter as long as it's a duct tape. Now turnbuckle. Okay. How can do the turnbuckle? Very easy. Um, get yourself, and I'm going to say this, and a bed that or bed. I mean, not a bed. Of pillow that you don't use. Right. If you get yourself a pillow that you don't use, get the inside of the pillow. The inside of the pillow. You cut it. Cut it with a knife. So basically, if you cut four like this could be, even though there's six. See, six. There's 12. You see, three, six. Yeah, 12. Right. So get yourself at least two pillows, or six pillow. However, you cut the middle. The part right here, this is a turnbuckle right here. It's a turnbuckle. So what you do is you got you already got the pole and the rope, right? They go this way. In the middle, you put that. How you
Mhm.
can do it? Easily. Get yourself. Let me see right here. Hold on. And I just had it right here. Of Creo duct, not this duct tape, but Creo duct tape. Creo duct tape. or still could be black, whatever. If you want to cover, black dot tape,
Mhm.
or red dot tape, whatever. You cover that. You cover it, and
Mhm.
then you put it like go like this. You see the wood. You put it like that. So to cover it, that's it.
Right.
You got your turnbuckle.
Mhm.
So when you do that, you got what you was talking about the turp. Um, if you want to do that, you get a blue turp to cover the ring, to cover the base. Cover the ring. If I mean, I don't care if it's. I mean, yes, yeah, of course, those. You see, I'm listening to questions right now. I don't know. I'm listening to questions right now. It's okay, but what if it's gonna hurt? Easy. Get yourself some gym mats, and I'm gonna say this. Sometimes in the back of the gym, they throw those mats outside. When I use it, they don't throw it. You could easily clean them. You clean them, and you put that on top of the ring, on top of the your plywood, on top of the green, on top of the ring. When you put on top of the ring, that's when you put the turf, the blue turf, to cover up, and there you go.
Right.
You got your ring. What
Right.
else? Trampoline. I want to talk about the trampoline now. If you want to do a trampoline, and I'm gonna ask, Tim. I mean, Adonis. Why he thinks about that. Trampoline. It's like I say, always check your ground. Make sure the ground is even. When you do that, basically the only thing that I'm gonna tell you is by a trampoline. Make sure you cover. That whether it's the mat or the thing on the trampoline, and you got the edges when it comes to tubes. You want to cover those. Sometimes the trampoline comes with a cover. Sometimes they don't have the cover. You
Mhm.
want to you want to cover those. And I can say one of my friends broke his ankle. He was on RSBW. I'm not gonna mention his name because he's doing the indie pro wrestling. But if you see the story of RSBW Rising Star backyard wrestling, they don't run anymore. But they had a story where one of the wrestlers broke their ankle, and the thing is that what they did a move. I think he did a bump or something, and his feet was like that, and he kind of broke his ankle. Because even they were, what the springs are. You got the tube, the springs, and you got the where it's holding that mat. He went in there, so when whatever he tried to do, he broke his ankle.
Right.
C2K, how do I cover it? Easy, bad tape, duct tape. You cover it. All you need to do, I mean, you might gonna have to. It depends how big the trampoline is. You might gonna have to say, get you at least 5 rows or 6 rows of this right here. You want to cover. You want to cover from the bottom first, and then the top. Don't just cover the top. You need to cover the bottom too. So make sure that the springs are between both tapes. You need to cover
Mhm.
that because now you don't have to. You really don't have to. Worry about that. So now I'm
Mhm.
gonna go to Tim to see what he thinks about the trampoline.
Well, to me, yes, just check your surroundings, make sure the springs are intact. That I do know that sometimes the springs that come with the package of the trampoline come out of the default, but always remember, just be careful how you attach those springs. Now, if you see the springs are they're completely off key package of the trampoline, um, what you can do, if you have to go back to the store, make sure the product that you brought with it, along with the receipt, is also eligible for it to be exchanged and accounted, and make sure the spring that you buy in the brand new package
Yes.
within the contents of the trampoline that comes with it doesn't come out of default. Because sometimes you
Yes.
gotta realize. some gray areas where some tool, not only just some tools, but some compartments or components comes up inside the contents of the box.
That's right. That's right. For our guys, we're gonna have to go. This was just the last thing that from this episode. Always, stay tuned for C2K and Friends. Either Fridays or Saturday nights. Every weekend you're gonna see C2K and Friends, C2K and which we probably will do it tonight. If we not, we'll probably do it tomorrow. C2K karaoke nights. Stay tuned for that. C2K talk show. It might be always. It's either it could be a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or yeah, like I'm gonna say either from Monday to Tuesday to Thursday. We might have C2K talk show. Any last words before we finish C2K and friends, bro?
For me, in closing, just remember, always check out the contents. Brand new content has already been released right now as we speak under WCE Wrestling Championship
Yes.
Entertainment. In case you missed out the series premiere, or should I say the season premiere of New Dawn Rising, it's on right now, anytime, anywhere, on demand on YouTube. It's hassle free. You don't want to miss the fun. It's a big fight field to start off the new season here at WCE and work Wrestling Championship Entertainment. If you haven't seen New Dawn Rising, well, guess what? You get to see it. If you want to see it again in its entirety, from start to finish. It could be, and especially with WCE and Wrestling Championship Entertainment, you guys see baby faces, some shocking debuts, twists and turns, or even surprise guests, and many more to choose from. So remember, check out WCE, aka Wrestling Championship Entertainment, and follow the keyword if necessary. Check the channel, like, subscribe, and comment, and tell us what you think. Not only just past seasons of WCE, also let us know what you think about over the past 4 seasons or 5 seasons and the best of WCE.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, we're gonna have to go. Thank you for watching. I know, wow, an hour and 12 minutes. Jesus Christ, that's what happened when you do real talk, But anyway, I want to thank um, Tyler Ark. I want to thank Drake Wolf, you, my brother, for coming, right here at the C2K and Friends. I want to thank everybody for watching and stay tuned. Maybe later on tonight, maybe for C2K karaoke nights. Love you all. God bless you. Have a blessed night, and I will see you
And
guys in
please
the next.
take care.
Exactly. Always. See you in the next episode of C2K and Friends with your host C2K, Chorus to Kill, and his friends right here at Don's Phileas. Love you all. God bless. And we're going to leave with the theme song of C2K and Friends.
C2K and friends is place that you would want to be. You invited to join the family. This is show C2K and friends. Welcome to the show. Come in and enjoy show. Come hang